Hey everyone, I'm Devin. I started this channel 12 years ago, right after I had my CMC basal joint surgery. I suppose it's time for an update. So 12 years ago, a lot of you came to me and you found my videos about my surgery, and you watched them right before your surgery or after your surgery, and some of you are just finding me today. So I want to welcome you back, and I want to welcome the newcomers to this channel. And today I'm going to give you an update 12 years later that I wish someone had given me, the good and also the part nobody wants to talk about. So let's talk about the good news first. I'm glad I had the surgery. The pain before the surgery was so bad I could hardly move my thumb anymore. And like many of you, I had had cortisol shots and they just weren't working. I also wore, hand and thumb braces for months and for years. And so, I finally decided to talk to doctors about the surgery. And I found this one doctor. I lived in Los Angeles at the time, and we had several meetings. I trusted him. I liked him. And so I decided to have the surgery with him. But on the day of the surgery, right before they wheeled me into the OR, the operating room, something rare happened to me. The anesthesiologist was giving me a numbing, injection with medication for numbing my thumb, my hand, my arm. And when he did that, he nicked my brachial plexus, which is the bundle of nerves running through the shoulder and the arm. And he did that while he was injecting the medication. And I didn't feel it at the time because the numbing medication worked immediately. So I didn't realize what was happening. And I mean, that whole process, getting that shot and that medication was really uncomfortable in itself. And I didn't want it, but the surgeon that I was, went with wanted me to have it because I guess while you're asleep, your body has reflexes and it can just move. And Lordy, he didn't want my thumb moving while he was trying to operate on it. I get it. But anyway, that nerve injury triggered something called complex regional pain syndrome, or CRPS, CRPS. And it just went through my whole body, mostly on the right side of my body. But my doctor, he said this happens to like 1 in 10,000 people, or maybe it was 20,000, or it was some unbelievable number. So, of course it happens to me. So, and if that wasn't bad enough, here's the bad part. CRPS is a chronic neurological pain condition. The simplest way that I can describe it is after an injury, the nervous system is supposed to send pain signals and then quiet down once you heal. Well, when you have CRPS, it never gets the all clear signal. It just keeps firing the danger signals long after the original injury happens, and they're often all out of proportion to it. So for me, that translated into burning pain, mostly in my hand, but all the way up my arm, pins and needles from the tips of my fingers to my shoulders. I also got frozen shoulder like the first week after surgery, which was horrendous. And that was just terrible. That's another story. But after months and months of physical therapy and lots of tears and just a really great team working with me, I got over that. But as for the complex regional pain syndrome, there are two types. Type 1 has no confirmed nerve injury. Type 2, which is mine, follows a specific nerve injury. That was the brachial plexus thing. Because it involved nerves that also regulate things like temperature and circulation, it's not just pain, for me that shows up. The right side, ran the wrong temperature. It just doesn't regulate. And I also, I still have it today, I mean, I've got tremors. Okay. 12 years later, I still have tremors. You know, I have my good days and I had my bad days, but you can see I have tremors. My body is also, I would have to say, weaker overall. It takes much more time to recover after a workout than it used to. Maybe that's partly age, but I've noticed that even if I walk 5,000 steps, it's just a major drain. I mean, I shake, I tremble after that, and I just can't handle stress the way I used to. You know, every person's CRPS story is different. Some have swelling, skin and color changes. I also had that, but it was the burning pain and the temperature deregulation that was the most terrifying. And my partner at the time was really good about helping me. I mean, I had this huge bowl that he would fill with ice so I could dip my hand and my arm somehow in it. And I would just cry, you guys. The pain was so terrible. And I would go back and forth to the doctor and they had me on pain pills, and that in itself was like a whole terrible thing. But listen, just take my experience as a picture, not the picture. So here's the honest part. For most people, CRPS or CRPS, you know, I hate to say this, but it never truly goes away. You learn to live alongside it. And I have a pretty darn good life today. I mean, I still can't have a massage on the right hand or wrist. I do get massages, but they got to be really careful on my right side because it can cause a full-blown episode. And I have to have a lot of rest. I have to have a lot of downtime to keep the stress down. So here's how I actually live with it. Oh, but first I want to tell you, a couple of years ago, I decided to try ketamine treatments, not the sold in the salons kind, you know, on every corner, but the actual check into the hospital outpatient kind. And I lived in Los Angeles and USC was there. And I met with a doctor and I was supposed to have 5 treatments. And I ended up only having 2 because it did not work for me. I did have, and also depression comes with CRPS and this kind of pain and everything. So after the ketamine treatments, I actually felt joy for a good 2 weeks. I mean, really joyful, but what they don't tell you, or what they say, you know, usually doesn't happen, but for me it happened full on, was the hallucinogenic side of it. And that wasn't good. I mean, the whole trip was pretty awful, actually. The nurses were not well versed in how to set you up for that kind of experience. I mean, my body functions were just, oh my God, it was so scary. For me, it was so scary. I'd never do that again. I'd never do it again. So the other thing is, I need it in my left hand, but because of the CRPS, my neurologist said, oh no, never. You're never going to have that surgery again. She does not want me to have it at all because of the CRPS and what it can do. But listen, I want to tell you the truth. And the truth is, I have 80% now usage of my thumb because of great physical therapists and doctors working with me and my own mental and emotional state while healing. Before the surgery, I only had about 50%. But I want to be real with you. And I want to tell you that there were hard days and hard weeks. And the good news is it didn't destroy me. I'm okay. I mean, I'm really okay. Not because it's easy, but because I've learned how to carry it and live with it. And I want to say the thing that really helped me was learning how to treat my body with love, not treating my body like it betrayed me. And rather than that, I just started treating my body like something was hurting and it deserved tenderness, not punishment. And something else all this did for me is it inspired me to become a Reiki master and heal myself so I could heal others. I became a life coach, specializing in trauma because of it. I guess you could say I turned lemons into. And if today's hard for you, I made a little quiet place for people walking this exact road. It's a free meditation that you can put on anytime the pain flares. You just press play and sit with me. I'll be there with you. And there's also a card with kind words on it that if you wake up at 3 a.m., it's there for you. And all of this is no cost, no catch. It's all in one spot called Gentle Hands on my Reparenting Guide website. And I'll put the link in the description for you, and you can come rest there whenever you need to. And if you decide that you like this kind of thing, let me know by just putting a little heart in the comments, and I'll create more videos and meditations and even healing music for you. Oh, and another thing, speaking about that, I created a Facebook page 11 years ago. I think it's called Thumbs Up, that I go to once in a while. Well, today there are 5,000 people strong. And it was created for you, for people like you, for support and to ask questions of people that went through the surgery already or are thinking about the surgery. They can go there, and decide, whether they want to do it, or they can ask questions from people who've already done it, including myself. So listen, dear one, if you just had the surgery or you've just been told you have CRPS, I see you. And you are going to figure out how to live, and it's going to be a good life. A different life, but still a beautiful life. And I know that because I am proof. I am living a beautiful, wholehearted life. So you're going to be okay. You're going to make it through this. And I'm here for you, and I'll post more videos and more things soon for you, okay? I'm really glad you came today. Remember to click that link in the description and get your free audio tape. So it's kind of a meditation tape. So when you need it, you're not alone. And I'll talk to you next time. Namaste.